10 things to know or consider before buying a condo in Alberta. You might have seen my short form video. This is an expanded version of that video. Number one, when you're buying a condo, you're not just buying the condo, you're buying a percentage share in the condo corporation. So if the condo corporation is owing money, you, my friend, will be owing money as well. That's why it's important to know the financial standings of the condo corporation. Number two, you need to know what is included with your condo unit. Stalls, storage lockers, detached or attached garage, and how are these spaces owned? Are they titled ownership? Are they leased? Are they assigned? Are they exclusive use common property? Each form of those, either ownership or the right to use that space, will have its own implications and things you'll want to consider. Number three, what is your intended use of the property? Would you like to operate a home-based business? Do you want to run an Airbnb? Do you have any pets? Are there any age restrictions you want to consider when purchasing a condo unit? You'll want to make sure you review the condo bylaws and familiarize yourself and ensure that the use you would like to use the property for is permitted. And do also keep in mind, I don't want to be a buzzkill for these short-term rentals because I know people that have done very well with them. But policies can change. Condo bylaws can be amended with a special resolution. So just because it's allowed today doesn't mean that it will be permitted tomorrow. And also, when you're checking the registered bylaws, it's important to check with the management company as well, because some changes are coming down the pipeline, but are not yet into the formal registered bylaws. So it is important to do your homework in that regard. Number four, check on the reserve fund study, the reserve fund plan, and the reserve fund balance. I'll give you a quick synopsis. A reserve fund study is essentially an engineer's report, needs to be done every 5 years, according to the Condominium Property Act of Alberta. And what they do is they go around the whole property, the building, they give all the major capital expenditures, an age, and an expected replacement date. So talking roof, boiler, building envelope, elevators, parking garage, all the major items in the building that you would be spending money on. They're all given an age and then a life expectancy, so that the condo corporation can start socking away money, so that 20 years down the road, when the roof needs to be done, the money will be there and it will be adjusted for inflation. So there'll be enough money to cover the cost of what a roof would be at that time, 20 years down the road. So it's important to check that reserve fund balance and the plan and the study, just to make sure that the condo corporation is on track to meet all those obligations. And the only time I've seen issues with the reserve fund plan, if somebody is on track or if a condo corporation is on track, is if any one of those items comes up ahead of schedule. So rather than 20 years down the road, if all of a sudden there's an issue with the roof that's not covered by insurance or warranty, and all of a sudden it needs to be done in 5 years, well, the money is going to be ready in 20, it's coming up in 5 years, all the owners would have to chip in that instance. It does happen from time to time. That, unless you can predict it or there's signs of something like that happening, something like that would be kind of out of left field, and it's not something that you can predict. But reviewing the reserve fund and the plan and just ensuring that everything is on track, that is something that you can predict and you can be aware of and look into before you make a decision to purchase that condo unit. And I've seen some people before saying, "Oh, well, there's $2 million, it's fine," or, "Oh, there's only 50,000." Honestly, it doesn't matter what the balance of the reserve fund is in terms of, oh, is it 2 million or is it 50 grand? It matters, what does the plan say? How much should be in there? And if the amount that should be in there is there, great. Even if it's 50 grand, because maybe they replaced the boiler last year and it drained down the reserve fund to 50 grand, but they're building it back up. And the next time they're going to need another big draw is 7 years down the road and they're on track. Great. So it's important to check out the reserve fund study plan and balance. Condo insurance. So the condo corporation carries insurance that covers your unit, but you are going to need condo owners insurance as well, a condo owners policy. And this is going to cover you for any improvements that you've done in your unit. It's going to cover you for your personal items, your personal liability if somebody gets hurt or something like that in your condo unit. And also it will cover you, for example, if there's a leak or a fire or something that causes damage to your unit, and you would have to go and vacate and move somewhere else and live somewhere else for a certain period of time. A good condo owner's policy will cover you so that, I mean, if you're paying that mortgage and you can't use that property, you need to live somewhere. So you need to have a good condo owner's insurance policy over and above what comes in the basic insurance policy of the condo corporation. Number 6, to know what's going on in the condo corporation in terms of like, how is it operating, what's new, what's the latest, what's happening. You'll want to look at the AGM meeting minutes, so the annual general meeting minutes. That's just an account of what's happened at the annual general meeting. And then the meeting minutes of the board of directors, and oftentimes we'll look 12 months back. That gives you an idea of what's being discussed at these board of directors meetings and what issues are really forefront in the condo corporation. So those would be the two items that you would really want to look into as well. 2 other items is the AGM meeting minutes and the board of directors meeting minutes for the last 12 months. You could go back further if you want, but 12 months seems to be the norm. And then if you're proactive, when you do find your condo, you've purchased it, I would say attend the AGM to get an idea of what's happening in the condo corporation, to be involved. And then if you are so inclined, you could also volunteer for the board of directors, a position on the board of directors at the AGM. And you would be, the owners would be voting at the AGM for who would be elected to the board of directors. So that would be, if you do want to be involved, that would be your path of action to get involved in your corporation and help to steer the ship into a good direction. Hopefully it's already going in a good direction. You've done your condo, you've done all your research, you already know, but to keep things going in a good direction, right? And then number 7, know what's included in your condo fees. So in terms of utilities, is your heat boiler, is that heat included in your condo fee? Is water garbage included in your condo fee? In terms of exterior windows, are those covered and replaced in the condo fee by the condo corporation? Or are those items that you own and you have to replace them? It's important to know what's included in that condo fee. Number 8, take a mental note when you're touring around the condo, when you step out of your vehicle and you're walking up, how does it look? How is the grass if it's summertime? How's the snow? Are the sidewalks shoveled? Is the parking lot, if there's a parking lot, is that shoveled? The entryway building, is it clean? Is it well maintained? Are there any red flags of deferred maintenance or anything that looks like it shouldn't be there? The hallways, the elevator, all of these common areas, the underground parking garage, all of these common areas, if they're clean, are they clean? Are they in good state of repair? All of those things are important because it's an indication of how the building is being run. And alternatively, if you're walking up and you've got all these wood balconies on the building and the wood is rotting like it should have been replaced 10 years ago, that's a red flag. Because if you can obviously see there's maintenance that's required that's not being done, there's probably a reason for it. Maybe I'm going to assume there's not enough money set aside to replace these decks or these balconies, or they would have done it already, right? If it's overdue. And also it could present a safety issue. So just paying attention when you look around the building and not just focusing on your specific unit and thinking, oh, well, those balconies are not my problem because my balcony is good, or I've got a different unit that doesn't have a balcony, right? If it's in the condo corporation itself, the condo building itself, then it is going to be a part of your responsibility. Number 9, get a professional condo document review. It's key to do. I've seen in some instances where people review the documents themselves if they have experience with that. But for 99.9, we'll go with that, percent of the time, you are going to want to have a condominium document review done. If there are any things you're concerned about, or there are any uses in the property that you really want to ensure you can have, or Fluffy is 50 pounds and you just want to make sure he doesn't have to go on a diet to meet a 45-pound weight restriction for dogs, or whatever it might be, any kind of use, your home-based business, whatever it is, bring those up ahead of time with the condo document review company. So they can key up on those issues. And then you will also have a summary at the end, a report that will describe the condo corporation and they do review the reserve fund study, the bylaws, all of that stuff, the board meeting minutes, the financials, current financial statements, all of that. And they'll provide you a Coles Notes summary report. And so it's definitely an excellent idea to have that and to read it carefully. And in addition, if you do want to review these items yourself and you have the time, by all means, it's recommended to do that as well. Okay, number 10. Although responsibility in a condo corporation is typically less than a single family home, for example, in your single family home, you've got your basement, that's your responsibility. You've got your roof, that's your responsibility. You've got your yard and your fence and all of that stuff. In a condo corporation or a condo building, typically the roof is common property. The underground parking is common property. So you're really just talking about your unit itself. Or if we're looking at a townhouse, the interior of the townhouse, the roof is still considered common property oftentimes. And I won't get too far into bare land condos and detached properties that are still condominiumized, maybe in another video or maybe with sidebar conversation. But for the time being, you just want to ensure that you get a home inspection, and it's not going to be as comprehensive as on a single family home, but you're still going to have, it's a good idea, and you should have a home inspector come through. They can do a thermal scan on the condo, check everything out, check all the plugs and electrical and under all the plumbing underneath the sinks, and just look for any issues. They'll do a thorough check around the property. And then that way you know what you're getting into before you make the final call to purchase the unit. So those are the 10 things to consider or know before buying a condo in Alberta. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.